The only regret was that each exploration of the alien star domain allowed only 24 hours, an excessively short time, so short that it prevented Song Kai from really diving in and making a big impact. If only the Zhu Tian Ruins Market spatial anchor point feature could provide one more usable anchor point, then I could simply set a return anchor point at home and shuttle between the two star domains without restrictions. Resource collection wouldn't be limited like this. With a sigh in his heart, Song Kai shook his head, telling himself not to think any further. Whether another usable anchor point would appear depended on the subsequent upgrade to second rank of the Ruins Market. If it didn't happen, he needn't think about it for the near future. As he thought about it, a slight sense of weightlessness enveloped the entire Kangchong. The return time had arrived. Above the sky of Dragonspine Continent, an airship over 20 meters in length pierced through the clouds and descended rapidly from the vault of heaven before landing on Green Moon Island, where Green Moon Manor was located. As soon as Song Kai returned, he immediately went back to his room, and then his figure vanished as he entered the Zhu Tian Ruins Market. He couldn't wait to begin the formal upgrade of the Kangchong. Zhu Tian Ruins Market, the free stall area. Compared to the free stall area, which had expanded to more than 400 meters in length and width, the Kangchong of just over 20 meters in length seemed particularly small. But not for long, as it would reach 100 meters in length once this upgrade was successful. Next to the Kangchong, as a flicker of ghost light twinkled between Song Chi's brows, a strand of origin torch energy surged out from the ancestral torch and slowly merged into the spaceship's hull in front of him. It was at this moment that an emotionless mechanical voice reached Song Chi's ears. Current warship upgrade success rate is 90.1%. Are you sure you want to start the official upgrade? Once initiated, it cannot be reversed. Please decide carefully. Whoosh! Song Kai took a deep breath, then his slightly squinted eyes suddenly flew open, and he uttered two words. Confirmed. As he spoke these words, the entire hull of the Kangchong in front of him began to quiver violently, and a mysterious and profound ghost light enveloped the entire body of the airship, seemingly undergoing some deep transformation. Dozens of meters away from the Kangchong, Song Kai watched with a worried expression, his eyes betraying an undeniable tension. Even though the Kangchong's upgrade success rate had reached an astonishing 90.1%, it was still not 100%. Honestly, he feared being that unfortunate soul plagued by extreme misfortune. And if the upgrade failed, while there would be no danger to him as the torch ship captain, the Kangchong would be lost. Moreover, as the captain, the moment the Kangchong sunk, the seed of torch within his ancestral torch would be weakened, and without special items to repair it, it would take at least decades to recover. That wasn't the most important part. If it came to that, he could quickly sell the valuable items he possessed, such as Red Origin Heavenly Fire and Insect Mother Skin, which should be able to get him special resources to accelerate the recovery of the fire seed. The key issue was that if the Kangchong sunk, over 90% of the components on board would be completely destroyed, and that was something Song Kai absolutely could not accept. You see, among the components currently mounted on the Kangchong, there was one red component, 4 orange components, and 4 purple components. If more than 90% were destroyed, at best he'd be left with 2 high-quality components, something utterly unthinkable. Time passed minute by minute, and Song Chi's heart hung heavy, unable to relax. However, the warship's upgrade was not something that could be completed in a short time. It required at least 24 hours at minimum. Thus, he had no choice but to suppress the tension in his heart and stepped into the All Attributes cultivation room. In recent months his guidance technique had improved significantly, but it still wasn't enough. After experiencing the last transaction at the Ruins Market, all he wanted was to ascend to second rank as quickly as possible. This time, instead of using the second-rank insect race flesh, he took 10 pounds from 50 pounds of third-rank peak sandworm essence meat, using it in conjunction with the advanced body tempering potion and body tempering liquid. In the free stall area, ghost light circulated around the hull of the Kangchong, and in the All Attributes cultivation room, the flow of spectral energy continued without interruption. 30 hours later, Song Kai emerged from the All Attributes cultivation room after more than a day of secluded cultivation. His aura still showed his guidance technique at level 16, with no new breakthroughs. At this, Song Kai felt a bit disappointed, yet it seemed normal to him. Level 16 guidance technique. This was no longer the zero rank era. A regular torch ship captain looking to advance to first rank would need at least a decade. Yet, in just a few months, he had surged from level 11 to level 16, an already terrifying feat. How could advancing to level 17 as quickly as this be simple? Even the peak third rank Sandy Worm's essence meat could not make it happen. Of course, that didn't mean there were no gains at all. Song Kai could feel that under the triple boost of the high-level body tempering potion, third rank Sandy Worm's essence meat, and body tempering liquid, his guidance technique was not far from reaching level 17. Perhaps with a few more months, it would naturally fall into place. Arriving at the free stall zone with anticipation, Song Chi's eyes twitched slightly. The Kang Chong, still enshrouded in ghost light, had not finished its promotion even after 30 hours. Thus, Song Kai could only exit the ruins market for the time being. More than 3 hours later, after freshening up and completing today's visualization of the mythical mech projection imprint blueprint, Song Kai returned to the ruins market. As he gazed at the Kang Chong, still flickering with ghost light, he originally wanted to grumble a bit, but his eyes soon widened once more, anxiousness flickering within them. Because just then, the ghost light that had been enveloping the outer hull of the Kang Chong began to slowly recede. In the teachings of the past, this was the sign that a torch warship's promotion was entering its final stretch. Whether a torch warship would succeed in its promotion was all decided in these final moments. It must succeed. Constantly whispering in his mind, Song Chi's gaze was glued to the Kang Chong, not daring to miss a single detail. Time passed. 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 2 minutes quickly passed, and the ghost light above the hull of the Kang Chong was about to dissipate, when suddenly the body of the spectral airship started to vibrate violently again. His breath stopped for a moment. Then, a second later, a fierce joy appeared in Song Chi's eyes, and his heart, which was suspended in midair, settled down heavily. In front, the Kang Chong, over 20 meters long, was expanding rapidly. Within a brief time, it had grown from 20 meters to 30 meters. Then, 40 meters, 50 meters. After a dozen seconds, the hull of the Kang Chong reached 120 meters, officially completing its promotion from a spectral airship to a Guardian-class spectral warship. And this also meant that, from that moment on, Song Kai was officially a second-rank torch ship captain. Although his own guidance technique was still somewhat lagging, it didn't change this fact. Looking at the obsidian armor layer that wrapped around the entire hull of the Kang Chong, and the streamlined body of the warship, as well as the 3 new secondary cannon slots at the bow, Song Kai felt a sudden, faint sense of pride swell within him. This warship, which was already beginning to live up to the name of a steel behemoth, was the result of his efforts over the past year and a month. How could he not feel proud? In just over a year and 2 months, he had taken a torch warship from 0 rank to 2nd rank. Even among scions of a prominent family like the Dingai Song family, this achievement was undoubtedly outstanding. Without trying to suppress the excitement and elation bubbling up inside, as the captain of the Kang Chong, Song Kai felt he had every right to rejoice, at least in this moment he did. Striding into the newly transformed interior of the Kang Chong, Song Chi's eyes swept around, taking in everything, silently observing the various changes inside the warship. He soon arrived at the Kang Chong main control room. Without any other actions, the moment he entered the main control room, he eagerly accessed the warship's attribute panel. Name: Kang Chong. Model: Torch Guardian class spectral warship. Level: LV-20, of course. Before completely opening the warship attribute panel of Kang Chong, Song Kai didn't forget to reinstall the few components he had taken apart. Of course, there weren't many, only 5. They were the Fire Peony Soldier figurine tree, Purple River translocation device, fixed-point launch pad, space beacon emitter, and blood soul stigma. The enhancement level of these 5 components was only LV-20 previously, having consumed only some 0-rank and 1st-rank floating land origins, which was still within Song Chi's acceptable range. As for things like the enslavement medal, and the dark matter energy shield generator, abnormal status purifier, and healing fruit, they had either consumed quite a lot of 2nd-rank floating land origin or even titanium crystal and 3rd-rank floating land origin. Song Kai really didn't have the courage to dismantle all of them. The loss would be too great. After enhancing the Fire Peony Soldier figurine tree, and the other 4 to LV-20, the complete warship attribute panel then fully appeared before him. Name: Kang Chong. Model: Torch, Guardian-class spectral warship. Level: LV-20. Base components: Blue Torch warship body LV-20, Pure Yang swordbeam cannon, Orange, LV-30, Electromagnetic ray cannon, Blue, LV-30, Obsidian ship armor, Purple, LV-30, Shadow capture antimatter overstate engine, Purple, LV-30, Dark matter energy shield generator, Orange, LV-30, Silver 3 generation superwave magic energy detection radar, Orange, LV-27, Spectral cultivation room LV-0, 8/11. Additional components: Fire Peony Soldier figurine tree, White, LV-20, Brainwave remote control system, Purple, LV-25, Abnormal status purifier, Blue, LV-39, Purple river translocation device, Blue, LV-20, Healing fruit, White, LV-29, Fixed point launch pad, Blue, LV-20, Phantom thruster, Purple, LV-23, Blood soul stigma, Blue, LV-20, Enslavement medal, Red, LV-30, Space beacon emitter, Blue, LV-20, Void assassin clan soldier figurine tree, Orange, LV-30, 13/26. Spectral energy pool: 60,000, 60,000. Supplies: 40 strands of 4th rank floating land origin, 234 strands of 3rd rank floating land origin, 188 strands of 2nd rank floating land origin, 1 titanium crystal. His gaze lingered for a good while on the phrase, Guardian-class spectral warship, in the warship model category, and then Song Kai turned his attention to the base components section. His eyes converged first on the Pure Yang swordbeam cannon, and soon the attributes of this orange main cannon emerged. As expected, although its enhancement level was still LV-30, its attributes had significantly improved compared to 2 days ago when Kang Chong was still at 1st rank. 2 days earlier, this main cannon's attack attribute was 490,200, but now with the successful advancement to 2nd rank, the value had become 612,750. 490,200 right-pointing arrow 612,750. While this increase might not seem too extraordinary, the key here is that the gains are not limited to the Pure Yang swordbeam cannon alone but apply to all of Kang Chong's base components, and that is the most astonishing part. Take the dark matter energy shield generator component, for example. Before the promotion to the escort ship, its defense attribute and shield value attribute were as follows. Defense: 159,600 shield value, 4,120,000 4,120,000, and now it has become Defense: 199,500 shield value, 6,434,000 6,434,000. Besides the Pure Yang swordbeam cannon and dark matter energy shield generator, the electromagnetic ray cannon, and obsidian ship armor, among others, also experienced a similar increase. The reason for this increase is simple. Previously, when it was a spectral airship, all the warship's base component slots received an additional 20% attribute bonus compared to 0 rank, but with the promotion to the Guardian class, this bonus effect increased from 20% to 50%. Never underestimate this effect. It's akin to granting every base component a steadfast performance enhancement 50% feature of purple quality. And this is the very reason why warships with the same enhancement level and quality of base components perform so much better on Guardian-class warships than on Spectral airships. Additionally, the increase of 3 secondary cannon slots that comes with the promotion to Guardian class is another main reason. P.S. In the last chapter, some readers asked why Song Kai insisted on promoting Kang Chong instead of directly enhancing the main cannon, energy shield, and other components. The reason is here. Remember, warship promotion can enhance all base components comprehensively, and the same goes for future cruisers and Zhulu warships. Withdrawing his gaze from the dark matter energy shield generator, Song Kai looked at the 3 new secondary cannon slots that had appeared. After the promotion from a Spectral airship to a Guardian-class warship, although the main cannon slots didn't increase, that would be something for a future promotion to a cruiser. The addition of 3 secondary cannon slots means that a Torch warship now has 4 secondary cannons, providing a small boost to its own firepower. As for these 3 new secondary cannons, Song Kai had long planned for them. The current electromagnetic ray cannon already possessed a crowd control attribute, and for the remaining 3 secondary cannons, he would likely choose components that excel in slowing, armor breaking, or shield breaking. He may also opt for those special secondary cannons with unique damage types. For example, cannons that can deal additional damage to spiritual bodies, divine souls, etc. In the upcoming expedition to the Soul Spirit floating land, the Soul Spirit clan that needed to be confronted held great advantages in divine soul attributes, so equipping a secondary cannon capable of targeted damage would likely yield impressive results. However, Song Kai did not hold much hope for such secondary cannons at the moment. Long before Song Hengtong issued his mission, the clan had already quietly snapped up all the warship components that had special effects on divine souls. Whether it was main cannons, secondary cannons, or special components, from the market by members of the first direct lineage. Over the past few months, although he had listed the acquisition information for these divine soul-type strange objects in the shops of the Ruins Market, he hadn't made any gains. Therefore, his current main targets were still the secondary cannons for armor break, shield break, and control. Having retrieved the Kang Chong, Song Kai strode to the ultra-long-distance Spacegate random deployment platform. Over 10 hours ago, the device had already cooled down and was ready to initiate the next Ruins Market trade. However, before proceeding with the next Ruins Market trade, Song Kai first exited the Ruins Market. Green Moon Manor, the small courtyard where his second uncle's family lived. Following Song Chi's explanation of his intentions, his second uncle, Song Hai, took him to the backyard. As soon as he entered the backyard, Song Kai saw a small mountain of terrastones piled up. With a wave of his hand, Song Kai summoned Zhao Lei over, and at his signal, Zhao Lei activated the mana within his body and, within a matter of seconds, stored all the terrastones in front of him into his waist storage bag. Such smooth action surprised Song Hai, who was watching from the side. Even though Song Kai had already mentioned that he acquired a special storage method in the Zutian Ruins Market, Song Hai had been somewhat prepared, but seeing such fluidity in storage still piqued his interest considerably. After a brief moment of contemplation, Song Hai quickly got back to the main topic, saying to Song Kai, "Little Kai, this batch of terrastones totals 4 million pieces. Including labor and transportation costs, the cost is roughly about 40 pieces for 1 strand of 0-rank floating land origin. In other words, you only need to sell these terrastones for 100,000 strands of 0-rank floating land origin, and we won't suffer loss. However, how much we can actually earn depends on the price you can negotiate with that high-level goblin." 4 million pieces, the number sounded not small, but converted into 0-rank floating land origin, it suddenly seemed not that much. After all, it was just 100,000 strands of 0-rank floating land origin. In terms of the assets in Song Chi's own hands, he had nearly reached 1 million strands of 0-rank floating land origin, so 100,000 strands didn't seem like a lot to him. Of course, This did not mean that their 10th direct vein could only come up with 100,000 strands of zero-rank floating land origin. They had 2 third-rank torch captains and nearly 10 second-rank torch ship captains. Not to exaggerate, but Song Mingsong alone could probably take out hundreds of millions of strands if needed. The reason why they only purchased 4 million terrastones was firstly because time was too tight. From the moment Song Kai brought up the matter of terrastones to now, it had barely been more than 20 days. In such a short period, they had only managed to initiate acquisitions within the Dingai star domain. Secondly, to prevent a spike in prices due to mass purchasing, they couldn't buy too much at once in each star region. Furthermore, Song Kai had already said they shouldn't buy too much in the first round because he was not clear about the financial strength behind that Luke and how much terrastone it could absorb in one go. He clearly remembered that Goblin Luke himself had said that the Tor Viscount family behind it was declining. Whether it could swallow too much terrastone at one time was really questionable. He also didn't think that Luke was a fool. Engaging in overeating when their energy was insufficient might trigger backlashes. Ultimately, the terrastones they acquired still had to be sold on in the Silver Goblin Empire, and if Luke didn't have enough strength or means to covertly sell them, it would surely attract unnecessary coveting. Therefore, in order to prevent this kind of situation, Goblin Luke would probably not buy too much terrastone at once. After ending the conversation with his second uncle, Song Kai quickly returned to the Zutian Ruins Market. Within a matter of minutes, less than 2 minutes after activating the ultra-long-distance Space Gate random deployment platform, Goblin Luke rushed out from the second floor of the inn, looking frantic. In contrast to Zhou Ping from the primordial continent, this little creature obviously showed too much enthusiasm. Song Kai was quite clear about this. Most likely, it was the goblin nature of being extremely greedy for money that was at work. Every trade in the ruins market was a great opportunity to make money. Why would they waste even a second? For Luke, obtaining the ruins market guest token had come at a great cost. Not earning back all of it and making a profit would certainly be a major failure in a goblin's life. Seeing that there were no other alien races in the market, Luke trotted through the various shops of the ruins market. Not surprisingly, it finally stopped at the mineral acquisition shop. Its goblin eyes, sleazy and triangular, fixated on the terrastone sales counter to the side of the shop. However, looking at the terrastones, Luke's face was not filled with excitement or agitation but with rage. Swindler, swindler, O great silver empire in the heavens, how can there be such swindlers in the starry sea? At this, Song Kai, who had not yet shown himself and was hidden in the isolation storage space, twitched the corner of his eye, but quickly suppressed it. He thought about the price he had set for the terrastone and even felt a little embarrassed about it. 2 strands of first-rank floating land origin. This price was a staggering 200 times that of his family's procurement price. The reason he had set such a price was mainly because he was not familiar with the prices in the Silver Goblin Empire, so he wanted to allow enough room for negotiation. As for the issue of the market setting, in the ruins market, Song Kai had only one thing to say. In front of creatures like goblins, market settings were just decorations. Without enough room for bargaining, one simply couldn't withstand their glib tongues. While pondering, Goblin Luke began to loudly bargain. His triangular eyes flickered multiple times, and finally, he tentatively spoke up. "O great ruins market lord, how about 10 strands of zero-rank floating land origin for 1 strand?" In an attempt to maintain the ruins market's own style, Song Kai did not respond. Even the initial price offered by the other party was already 4 times the procurement price of his family. Even if there was no further change, after selling all 4 million terrastones in his possession, he would make a profit of 300,000 strands of zero-rank floating land origin. But this did not satisfy him. To Goblin Luke, this silent silence seemed like the best response. Soon, he carefully offered several more prices. 2 minutes later, when he gritted his teeth and said, 20 strands of first-rank floating land origin, which is the same as 2 strands of zero-rank floating land origin per terrastone, Song Kai decided that the offer was close enough and finally responded. Agreed. This price was already 20 times the cost price of his family, a very satisfying figure indeed. As for Goblin Luke, he already had a pained expression on his face, making it clear that although he would also make a profit at this price, it likely wouldn't be very large, perhaps only about 3 to 5 times. Once the price was settled, Luke quickly asked a question of great concern to both parties. "O great Ruins Market Lord, may I ask how much inventory of Terrastone you have at the moment?" His attitude at this moment became extremely respectful again, a stark contrast from before. Song Kai did not respond directly but instead asked, "How much do you want?" Seeing these 6 words, Goblin Luke pondered for a moment, seemingly considering his own financial capacity and how to carry it out. Since he had that foldable space box, there was no need to worry too much about transport. "Do you have 500,000 pieces?" Hearing his tentative offer, Song Kai was inwardly pleased. Based on the negotiated procurement price, 500,000 Terrastones would correspond to 250,000 strands of zero-rank floating land origin, a substantial sum. However, considering that the current inventory of Terrastones in the Ruins market was as high as 4 million pieces, he quickly replied, "Of course." Seeing this, the previously hesitant Luke's triangular eyes brightened. What about 1 million pieces? In fact, he had wanted to ask for 2 million pieces, but thinking of the current situation at the Viscount's mansion, he decided to keep the number at 1 million. At this, a very pleased Song Kai replied with a single word. "Agreed." The trade was sealed, and Luke quickly took out a large mass of floating land origin from his spatial folding box. A full 500,000 strands, but without exception, all were zero-rank floating land origin. Song Kai also tentatively asked if he had any thoughts of selling high-rank floating land origin, but was swiftly rejected. Clearly, this goblin didn't have as many high-rank floating land origins as imagined, or to put it another way, for it, the importance of medium-high-rank floating land origins far exceeded that of low-rank ones. Not disappointed, amidst Goblin Luke's pained gaze, Song Kai used the power of laws to coil up the large mass of zero-rank floating land origin, which vanished into thin air from this mineral resource shop in the blink of an eye. With this hefty order from Goblin Luke, coupled with the subsequent entrance of alien races into the Ruins market not being few, it was expected that the trade volume necessary for the Ruins market to up-rank to second rank would be quickly met, just waiting for this market trade to officially end before actively trying to elevate the Ruins market to second rank. To say he wasn't excited about this outcome would be a lie. One must know, when the Ruins market up-ranked from zero rank to first rank, it not only gained the extremely important Ruins market exclusive item, Ruins market guest token, but also activated the Ruins market's second feature, spatial anchor point. Both the Ruins market guest token and the spatial anchor point were extremely powerful new functions. Therefore, Song Kai had been harboring great expectations for the market's advancement to second rank for quite some time. Time passed, and no other incidents occurred subsequently. Zhou Ping brought another batch of 50 titanium crystals and items like body tempering liquid, body tempering paste, etc. Furthermore, Song Kai inquired with Goblin Luke again to see if he had any thoughts of renting a specialized shop in the Ruins market, similar to Zhou Ping and the Centaur. The result was, no matter how Goblin Luke pleaded, Song Kai did not respond to his bargaining for the rent of 50 strands of second-rank floating land origin. In the end, he grudgingly agreed and rented a shop as his exclusive storefront. As for the items he would sell, they were goblin mechanical creations, magic energy potions, and the like, which enriched the variety of goods in the Ruins market once again. 20-some hours later, at the moment the Ruins market trade ended, Song Kai immediately opened the market's attribute panel. Up-rank requirement: 200 strands of first-rank floating land origin, Ruins market trade volume 200,000, 235,650 200,000 strands of first-rank floating land origin. The conditions for the upgrade were met. However, before clicking confirm, Song Kai seemed to think of something. He paused his action, instead opening the market's only additional configuration at the moment, the Stealth Light platform. Its current enhancement level was exactly LV20, just reaching second rank, and since the Ruins market was also advancing to second rank, Song Kai worried whether the Stealth Light cloak generated by it could completely conceal the strong light emitted by the market's advancement. To be safe, he clicked on this component several times in succession, consuming dozens of strands of second-rank floating land origin and 15 titanium crystals, ultimately enhancing the Stealth Light platform to LV25. Only after this operation did he turn his attention back to the market itself. Conditions satisfied, spend 200 strands of first-rank floating land origin to elevate Ruins market level to LV20? Confirm. As the word confirm was spoken, the 200 strands of first-rank floating land origin that had been hovering in front of him suddenly dissipated and merged into the Ruins market space. Then, the entire Zhu Tian Ruins market began to shake violently. At the same time, an intense brilliance burst forth, filling the entire market space in a flash. Song Kai was no stranger to this scene, as almost the same anomaly had previously attracted a 4-digit number of void demons and nearly caused the entire Zhu Tian Ruins market to be annihilated. However, now it was different. With the Stealth Light cloak generated by the Stealth Light platform component in place, this intense brilliance could not shine out of the Zhu Tian Ruins market, nor could it attract the attention of the void demons again. When the brilliance dissipated, the attribute panel of the Zhu Tian Ruins market popped up in front of Song Kai once more, but soon he noticed a new prompt at the bottom of the panel. Time required for this up rank is 2 days, current remaining 47 hours 59 minutes and 12 seconds. Seeing this prompt, Song Chi's full anticipation had to be temporarily suppressed. A full 2 days, tens of times longer than from 0 rank to first rank, he naturally would not just wait idly. Green Moon Manor, the courtyard where Uncle's family lived. As soon as Song Shan stepped out of the mountain, Song Kai handed over the mass of floating land origin he held. Uncle, this is 400,000 strands of 0-rank floating land origin. Only 1 million pieces of terrastone were sold this time. The other 3 million will have to wait until next time. Out of the 500,000 strands of 0-rank floating land origin, Song Kai retained 100,000 strands, a little over 20%, and handed over the rest to his family, hoping to use it to speed up the improvement of his family's strength. Song Shan's face lit up with a smile, very satisfied with this difference in price. By this calculation, once the remaining 3 million terrastone were sold, they would gain 1.6 million strands of 0-rank floating land origin. Deducting the cost of 100,000 strands, that's a net profit of 1.5 million strands. Not a small amount by any means. Very good, very good, very good, Song Shan said. Good, 3 times in a row, reflecting his genuine happiness and not just a pretense. And indeed, this income had come at the right moment. Their lineage had just started, with limited sources of income, unable to sustain solely on the 3rd-rank source of Floatland on Green Moon Island. With this channel in Song Chi's hands, their lives would improve significantly in the future, and the strength of the family members would not only not stagnate but would instead experience a period of rapid improvement. Thinking of this, Song Shan's tone shifted. By the way, little Kai, does that high-level goblin really purchase 1 million terrastones every month, or is it not fixed? This was a crucial question, as only a stable income could qualify as a solid trading channel. Also, only by securing the monthly income of 400,000 strands of 0-rank floating land origin could the maximum benefit be ensured for their lineage. When he saw Song Chi's confirming nod, the smile in Song Shan's eyes grew even richer. Excellent, little Kai, this trading channel you've established has come at just the right time. While praising, Song Shan gently reached behind him and took out a small pouch, and from the ancestral aperture on his forehead, a cluster of floating land origin also flew out. Here are 600 strands of 2nd-rank floating land origin, 200 titanium crystals, and additionally While speaking, he lifted his left arm, activated his quantum communication bracelet, and transferred 4 golden merit points to Song Kai. These are the resources exchanged for that broodmother's skin. However, they don't include the external firing device you wanted for the prospector and other shipborne components. Song Kai was slightly delighted. All tallied up, these were precisely 9 golden merit points, and according to the purchase price at the family merit hall, that 400-meter-long broodmother skin should only be worth around 7 golden merit points. With an extra 2 points gained, how could Song Kai not be pleased? And this must be the reason why Song Mingsong previously told him to avoid handing it over to the family if possible. Just as he was tensed about where to acquire the next 3 secondary cannons, the income of these 4 golden merit points was enough for another visit to the Merit Tower. If he remembered correctly, last time in the Merit Tower he had spotted a purple quality control type secondary cannon. With that thought, Song Kai spoke to bid his uncle farewell. Go ahead. Also remember, the old man will be back in about 5 days. We should be setting off for the Soul Spirit floating land within these next 10 days, so make sure to prepare well in time. After receiving Song Shan's reminder, Song Chi's expression became solemn, and then he nodded earnestly. He was still very cautious about the Soul Spirit floating land. After all, it was a family mission of dangerous level and not to be taken lightly. Having left the courtyard, he summoned the Kang Chong to soar straight into the sky. In Green Moon Manor, Song Shan, not having re-entered the mountain, looked up at the Kang Chong, which was over 100 meters long. His eyes flickered as he once again recalled what Song Mingsong had said. He's already advanced to 2nd rank, huh? Could this kid really compete for a position in the rankings? At the foot of Dragon Spine's sacred mountain, in the Merit Tower. Guided by memory, Song Kai made his way to the 33rd floor of the Merit Tower, more specifically, to a counter on the left side of the 33rd floor. Looking at the counter where the purple quality shipborne secondary cannon named Cold Light Heavenly Frost Cannon was displayed, he gritted his teeth and confirmed the exchange. Compared to the typical purple main cannon and energy shield components, the price to exchange for a secondary cannon was a bit lower, needing only 4 golden merit points, just enough for his merit points. After exchanging for the secondary cannon, Song Kai hurried back to Green Moon Manor. Even with the protection of the stealth light cloak, he couldn't be entirely at ease and wanted to get back as soon as possible to watch over it himself. The stakes of the Zutian Ruins market were too great, so great that he dared not take the slightest risk. Inside the Kang Chong main control room, Song Kai began to enhance the Cold Light Heavenly Frost Cannon at the Zutian Ruins market. From this market transaction, he had obtained more than 500 strands of 2nd rank floating land origin. Along with the resources exchanged from the broodmother's skin, he now had over 1,200 strands of 2nd rank floating land origin and nearly 250 titanium crystals, so he decided to enhance this secondary cannon to LV-30 in one go. Cold Light Heavenly Frost Cannon LV-30 quality, purple. Feature: Heavenly Frost consumption, 30 spectral energy points per shot. Might: 5,100. No need for buffering or charging up rank requirement. 15 strands of 3rd rank floating land origin, 30,000 spectral energy points, 16 titanium crystals. Heavenly Frost. Each attack from the secondary cannon will carry a continuous 30's Heavenly Frost effect, which will lower the speed of the hit and damaged units to a certain extent. This effect can stack up to 5 times. After enhancing the Cold Light Heavenly Frost Cannon, there were still 700 strands of 2nd rank floating land origin left, and less than 190 titanium crystals. Song Kai thought for a moment, his gaze shifting between the Pure Yang Swordbeam Cannon and the Phantom Thruster. With less than 10 days until he would head to the Soul Spirit floating land, the remaining resources naturally needed to be used in a targeted manner. The Soul Spirit clan excels in divine soul techniques, making the energy shield almost useless against them, and the targeted, abnormal status purifier component had already been enhanced to its limit long ago. The choices left at the moment were nothing more than focusing on the firepower and speed of the Kongchong. The current, shadow capture antimatter overstate engine, component had already reached 3rd rank. It was improbable to achieve any significant rank progress in the short term, and the provided spectral energy was also still sufficient. Although the Yuneng pool could no longer supply the enslavement metal, a red component, for further enhancement, the other components were still unaffected. And with the enslavement metal already at 3rd rank, the enslavement success rate against ordinary 2nd and 3rd rank creatures could not be said to be 100%, but succeeding 8 or 9 times out of 10 was still achievable. Song Kai had no plans to continue enhancing it in the short term. Thus, the only enhancement targets now were the Pure Yang Sword Beam Cannon and the Phantom Thruster. After pondering for a moment and finding it difficult to decide, Song Kai made an unexpected decision. He stopped this round of enhancement and chose to keep the remaining 2nd and 3rd rank floating land origins and titanium crystals as reserves. In this way, he would not only stop dwelling on the decision but also be able to choose more targeted enhancements once he arrived at the Soul Spirit floating land, depending on the actual situation. 2 days later, still within Zutian Ruins Market, Song Kai had already ceased practicing the guidance technique. The Ruins Market's promotion had been completed. As the trembling beneath his feet gradually ceased, the entire area of Zutian Ruins Market Secret Realm began to expand rapidly. Its original size of 1,900 meters by 1,900 meters quickly expanded to 5,000 meters by 5,000 meters. In addition, the ultra-long distance Space Gate Random Deployment Platform, All Attributes Cultivation Room, and Spectral Energy Protective Array, even without any level changes, all had a significant increase in their attributes. Indeed, just like with the Torch warship, upon advancing to 2nd rank, the Ruins Market also applied the same enhancements to a host of basic components. However, what Song Kai was currently focused on was not these 3 aspects. His eyes shifted to the inn that had silently grown from 2 stories to 3. The 1st floor held ordinary rooms. The 2nd floor contained guest rank rooms generated by the Ruins Market guest token, so what could this newly added 3rd floor contain? With this question in mind, Song Kai stepped onto the 3rd floor of the inn, scanning the area, and the next second his eyebrows slightly raised. Could it be another guest rank room? Observing the layout almost identical to the guest rooms on the 2nd floor when the inn first promoted to 1st rank, numerous question marks floated through Song Chi's mind. 10 rooms symmetrically distributed on both sides of the central corridor, yet only the 1st room on the left side was open. The other 9 rooms were still isolated behind transparent air walls, leading him to subconsciously assume it was the same as the guest rank rooms on the 2nd floor. Approaching the only open room on the left, Song Kai felt neither joy nor sorrow. If it turned out to be another set of guest rank rooms, he could accept that. The Ruins Market guest token was quite useful. With only 10 guest rank rooms on the 2nd floor of the inn, yielding only 10 Ruins Market guest tokens, he had always felt the number was somewhat insufficient. Having 10 more would certainly be lovely. Creak. As he pushed open the door of this room, Song Chi's direct gaze suddenly hardened, and at the same time, he muttered to himself. No, this is not a Ruins Market guest token. He was so certain because the token hovering in the center of the room that entered his line of sight was not the bronze color of the Ruins Market guest token. It was of silver color. P.S. I made some changes in the previous chapter, roughly maintaining the setup of the Ruins Market while reducing the bargaining scenes. Those interested can go back and take another look. This token is almost identical in shape to the Ruins Market guest token, yet it has a completely different color. One is the color of bronze, while the one before his eyes is silver. The power of laws flowed around him, slowly converging into the room in front of him. After confirming there were no dangers inside, Song Kai stepped through the doorway. In the center of the room, the floating silver token lay before him. Song Kai reached out his hand and touched the silver-colored token. The next second, a deeply mystical piece of information abruptly poured into his mind, giving him a thorough understanding of the silver token before him. A Ruins Market Walking Rank. Name. Ruins Market Walking Rank. Belongs to Zutian Ruins Market. Song Kai. Usage count. Unlimited. Usage duration. Can be set. Effect. The creature possessing this travel command, regardless of where they are in the Shattered Starry Sea, can actively activate the token. Upon activation, the holder will be transported into a special travel room and granted autonomous stay rights. After choosing to return or being expelled by the Ruins Market Master, the activator and token will be transported back to their original location before entering the Ruins Market. Effect 2. Actively engage the law enhancement effect of the travel command. During the time the law is applied, the token's holder will gain combat power equivalent to crossing one great rank for the duration of 1 hour, with a cooldown of 720 hours. Introduction. A product derived from the Zutian Ruins Market, it possesses incredible abilities. Note: only the Zutian Ruins Market Lord can set the token's usage duration. Note 2. The Zutian Ruins Market Lord reserves the right to recall the token at any time. Note 3. When the Ruins Market hasn't opened for trading, the token holder can only move within the travel room and cannot leave the room. Without a doubt, this Ruins Market Walking Rank is an advanced version of the Ruins Market Guest Rank, not only possessing all the functions of the Ruins Market Guest token, but also further allowing its holder to enter the Zutian Ruins Market at any time without being limited to once a month. Although one cannot leave the travel room when the Ruins Market is not open for trading, it could entirely serve as a small temporary refuge space. Should one encounter an irresistible crisis in their original world, they can activate the travel command at any time to take shelter in this room. In addition, this Ruins Market Walking Rank possesses an active ability of law enhancement that can be used once every 30 days, allowing the holder to have combat power across one great rank of their current level for the next hour. That is to say, if a 0-rank creature obtained this travel command, upon activating this law enhancement state, they would temporarily possess 1st-rank combat power. If it were a 1st-rank creature, they would gain 2nd-rank combat power, and a 2nd-rank creature would gain 3rd-rank combat power. Of course, since the Ruins Market has only recently advanced to 2nd rank, it could only elevate a 2nd-rank creature's power to 3rd rank at most. Even so, the value of this Ruins Market Walking Rank far exceeds that of the Ruins Market Guest Rank. Grasping this silver token, Song Chi's eyes shimmered. He pondered for quite a while, considering the subsequent usage methods of this Ruins Market Walking Rank. Undoubtedly, following the Ruins Market Guest Rank, this Ruins Market Walking Rank will become the next iconic product of the Zutian Ruins Market and will inevitably cause an extreme chase among the alien creatures who enter the Zutian Ruins Market in the future. So, how to maximize the utility of this Ruins Market Walking Rank is a matter worthy of serious contemplation. Thinking of this, he also recalled the Ruins Market Guest Rank. The previous Ruins Market Guest ranks helped him acquire orange-quality Starry Sea oddities such as Red Origin Heavenly Fire and Pure Yang Swordbeam Cannon. The value of this Ruins Market Walking Rank was obviously much higher than the Ruins Market Guest Rank, and its use was measured in years. Therefore, the rewards for distributing it must not be less than orange-quality strange objects. Could it be that these alien species should use red curios as bargaining chips? Song Kai murmured to himself, his brows slightly furrowed. Red-quality strange objects, the gap between them and the orange glory treasures is not small. If he were to use such level items as bargaining chips, he feared it might be hard to distribute even one Ruins Market Walking Rank in a year or two. Shaking his head, Song Kai did not hurry to ponder this problem further. After all, even if he couldn't distribute them in the short term, he seemed able to use the Ruins Market Walking Rank himself. He wondered whether the law enhancement could be applied to the Kangchong, as it would grant a significant boost to the Kangchong's combat power if possible. Regarding this, Song Kai planned to personally test it once he left the Ruins Market. Turning away from the inn, Song Kai opened the Ruins Market's attribute panel on the central street of the market. After advancing to second rank, the Ruins market had undergone significant changes. Only by examining the detailed attribute panel could he more directly understand these changes. His gaze landing on this attribute panel, Song Kai skipped the rest and went straight to the spatial anchor point feature. However, the more he hoped, the more disappointed he was. After advancing to second rank, this spatial anchor point feature still did not change, and only that single usable spatial anchor point remained. Faced with this, Song Kai could only sigh in resignation. P.S. The second spatial anchor point is still ahead. We are aiming for 3 million words in this book, not wanting to reveal too much too soon, as it could lead to problems later. Please don't criticize, thank you. Before he could overthink it, his peripheral vision quickly caught a new detail. Name: Zutian Ruins Market Master, Song Kai. Level: LV20, Specifications: 5000 mx 5000 meters, Basic Configuration: 100 shops, 1 stall area of 1000 meters by 1000 meters, 1 3-story inn, 1 LV19 all attributes cultivation room. Doubles efficiency when cultivating with spectral energy. 1 LV19 spectral energy protection formation. 1 LV19 ultra long distance space gate, random deployment platform. 1 0 rank spirit mechanism synthesis platform. Within that basic configuration section, he was suddenly struck by a completely new setup. Spirit mechanism synthesis platform. Staring at these 5 characters, Song Chi's mind brimmed with endless possibilities. Firstly, he could almost certainly deduce that this spirit mechanism synthesis platform was most likely the floating land origin synthesis platform, because the primordial continent that stood behind Zhou Ping referred to the floating land origin as spiritual mechanism. One from the immortal cultivator continent, and one a civilization from the ancient immortal domain, both associated with immortal cultivation. It wasn't strange that their terminology was identical. Could it be to synthesize floating land origin from some other things? Or to refine low-rank floating land origins into higher-rank ones? Pondering, he quickly strode down the central street towards the side of the Ruins market. Through a god's eye view, he had already confirmed that the newly appeared spirit mechanism synthesis platform was right beside the all attributes cultivation room. Spirit mechanism synthesis platform, as the name suggests, was like the opposite ultra-long distance space gate random deployment platform, formed from white jade stone, but compared to the space gate platform, the synthesis platform was much smaller and more exquisite. Not bothering with these details, he stepped eagerly onto the brand new white jade stone platform, and then Song Kai obtained the detailed attributes of the spirit mechanism synthesis platform. Name: Spirit Mechanism Synthesis Platform, Rank: 0. Effect: by injecting 1000 strands of 0-rank floating land origin into the synthesis platform, 100 strands of first-rank floating land origin can be synthesized. Restriction: each synthesis method can only be used once a month at most. Note: a special synthesis platform originating from the hands of a mighty being from the immortal domain, civilization of the Starry Sea, capable of refining lower-rank spiritual mechanisms into higher-rank ones. Up-rank requirement: Ruins market level LV10 or higher, 1000 strands of floating land origin, 0 rank. After reading through the attribute panel in front of him, Song Kai, originally filled with joy, now harbored some doubts mixed with a hint of disappointment. Although it was indeed capable of refining lower-rank floating land origins into higher-rank ones, being limited to producing first-rank floating land origin seemed somewhat low. With doubt, Song Kai took out 1000 strands of 0-rank floating land origin from the ancestral torch and attempted to enhance the spirit mechanism synthesis platform to first rank. Light swept across, and the spirit mechanism synthesis platform successfully upranked from 0 rank to first rank. When he looked at its attributes again, there was already a significant change. Effect: by injecting 10,000 strands of 0-rank floating land origin into the synthesis platform, 1000 strands of first-rank floating land origin can be synthesized. By injecting 1000 strands of first-rank floating land origin, 100 strands of second-rank floating land origin can be synthesized. That's more like it. Although the cooldown time of the Spirit Mechanism synthesis platform did not decrease and remained at 1 synthesis per attribute per month, the fact that it could synthesize second-rank floating land origin was quite satisfying for Song Kai. The key point was that this was only a first-rank synthesis platform. If it were to be second-rank, there would likely be a significant improvement. Continuing, he took out another 1000 strands of first-rank floating land origin and enhanced the Spirit Mechanism synthesis platform to second rank. Upon upgrading to this point, the Spirit Mechanism synthesis platform could no longer continue to be enhanced, as to uprank it to third rank would require the Ruins market itself to reach a level of LV 30 or higher. But the second rank Spirit Mechanism synthesis platform, with its effects, was quite extraordinary, leaving Song Kai very content. Effect. By injecting 100,000 strands of zero-rank floating land origin into the synthesis platform, 10,000 strands of first-rank floating land origin can be synthesized. By injecting 10,000 strands of first-rank floating land origin, 1,000 strands of second-rank floating land origin can be synthesized. By injecting 1,000 strands of second-rank floating land origin, 100 strands of third-rank floating land origin can be synthesized. Not to mention anything else, he would be able to gain an additional 1,000 strands of second-rank floating land origin each month, which, considering his current urgent need for second-rank floating land origin, was definitely the best news for him. Even though synthesizing these 1,000 strands of second-rank floating land origin would require a monthly consumption of 100,000 strands of zero-rank floating land origin, or 10,000 strands of first rank, which was a considerable expense. However, for Song Kai, who now had a steady monthly income of over 100,000 strands of zero-rank floating land origin, this wasn't a big deal. Especially after reaching the deal with Goblin Luke for 1 million Terrastones per month, Song Chi's monthly income of zero-rank floating land origin had stabilized at over 200,000 strands, making this even less of an issue. Thinking this, Song Kai directly took out 100,000 strands of zero-rank floating land origin from the Ancestral Torch and, after the light from the Spirit Mechanism synthesis platform dissipated, the 100,000 strands of zero-rank floating land origin became 10,000 strands of first rank. He then activated the Spirit Mechanism synthesis platform, again, synthesizing these 10,000 strands of first-rank floating land origin into 1,000 strands of second-rank floating land origin. After enhancing up to this point, Song Kai stopped, not continuing to refine them into third-rank floating land origin. At least for the time being, he had no intention of synthesizing third-rank floating land origin. In his view, the monthly 100 strands of third-rank floating land origin were not enough to rapidly enhance the several third-rank components on the Kangchong. Instead, it was better to upgrade the second-rank components for the time being. Taking down the 1,000 strands of second-rank floating land origin from the synthesis platform and truly feeling their presence, Song Kai was a bit excited. An extra 1,000 strands of second-rank floating land origin each month, plus the exchange income and rental fees from each Ruins market trade, would allow him to securely earn over 1,500 strands of second-rank floating land origin. And 1,500 strands of second-rank floating land origin in the family merit hall amounted to 7.5 points of golden merit. Amidst his excitement, Song Kai quickly forgot the disappointment brought about by the spatial anchor point feature and turned to the now 1,000-meter wide free stall area. He summoned the Kangchong once again. After scanning the area, his gaze fell on two components, the Purple River translocation device and the fixed-point launch pad. Both were blue components that did not require titanium crystal resources. Previously, due to a shortage of second-rank floating land origin, he had not continued their enhancement. Dozens of seconds later, after consuming a total of 698 strands of second-rank floating land origin, Song Kai upgraded both components to third rank. Upon reaching third rank, both components underwent a qualitative leap in their attributes. Purple River Translocation Device LV30 Quality, Blue. Consumption: 10,000 per use, spectral energy points. Effect: after charging, the warship can perform spatial jumps in a specified direction. Current maximum translocation distance: 100 light-years. Charge time: 20 minutes. Buffer time: 8 hours. Up rank requirement: 10 strands of floating land origin, 3rd rank. 25,000 spectral energy points, 10 void crystals, 2nd rank. Fixed point launch pad LV30 quality, blue. Consumption: 5,000 per use, spectral energy points. Charge: 20 seconds. Buffer: 4 hours. Effect: deploy qualified items, organisms, to specified coordinates. Current maximum deployment distance: 4 light-years. Up rank requirement: 10 strands of floating land origin, 3rd rank, 25,000 spectral energy points. The maximum translocation distance of the Purple River translocation device increased from 40 light-years to 100 light-years. The deployment distance of the fixed point launch pad went from 2 light-years to 4 light-years. Once the level of the Brainwave remote control system is also enhanced, the combined effect of using the two will be even more powerful. After enhancing these two components, Song Kai still had a little over 1,000 strands of 2nd rank floating land origin left, and the titanium crystal count was still under 190. After some thought, he decided not to continue enhancing and kept these as reserve resources. After storing the Kongchong away, Song Kai finally shifted his attention to the 3 components: All Attributes Cultivation Room, Ultra Long Distance Space Gate Random Deployment Platform, and Spectral Energy Protective Array. Following the Ruins Market's promotion to 2nd rank, these 3 components could also be further upgraded. After consuming several hundred strands of 1st rank floating land origin, all 3 were enhanced to LV20. As for their attributes, the promotion by a great rank naturally brought about significant changes. Starting with the Ultra Long Distance Space Gate Random Deployment Platform, when it was at LV19, even with the additional bonus from the 2nd rank Ruins Market, it could only deploy 58 spatial gates. However, after the successful promotion, this number surged to 75. Furthermore, with the entry of 2nd rank alien star domain creatures into the Ruins Market in the future, one can imagine that each Ruins Market transaction will be even more heated, and his profits will significantly increase. Then there is the All Attributes Cultivation Room. At LV19, its bonuses for regular cultivation and spectral energy cultivation were 735% and 1,470%, respectively. Now, these enhancements have become 900% and 1,800%. During spectral energy cultivation, the enhancement has reached 1,800%, while on a regular torch warship with the LV20 spectral energy cultivation platform, the enhancement is only 600%. There's a full 3-fold difference between them. One should not underestimate this multiple. Accumulated over time, the gap between Song Kai and other torch ship captains will only become more terrifying. Finally, the Spectral Energy Protective Array. This configuration has been given more emphasis by Song Kai ever since the Void Demon incident, being enhanced to the highest level as soon as possible after every Ruins Market promotion. Previously at LV19, its defense, shield value, and post-overload buffer time were as follows. Defense: 2,850, shield value: 285,285 thousandths, post-overload buffer: 22 minutes. Now, it has become defense: 15,000, shield value: 1,500,000 1,500 thousandths. Post-overload buffer: 20 minutes. At merely 2nd rank, the shield value has already reached an astounding 1.5 million. This figure alone is enough to illustrate the terror of the Spectral Energy Protective Array. Be aware that an orange quality dark matter energy shield generator component, when enhanced to the maximum LV29 of 2nd rank level, has a shield value of just over 300,000. The comparison speaks for itself. Within the cloud depths of the Dragon Spine continent sky, the 120-meter-long Kongchong hovered quietly. In the Kangchong main control room, Song Kai held the Ruins Market walking rank token in his hand thoughtfully. He wanted to test whether the Kangchong could trigger the law enhancement effects of the Ruins Market walking rank, or if only he himself could receive this enhancement. Only by clarifying this could he more accurately assess his own strength, and only then could he make more reasonable decisions in various emergencies. He could not afford to fall into danger or miss out on any incredible opportunities due to a misjudgment of strength. Spectral energy surged within him, slowly infusing into the silver token in his hand. After a short while, a subtle silvery glow emanated from the Ruins Market walking rank in his hand. This silvery light first enveloped Song Chi's entire body, causing his original first-rank strength to soar, allowing him to step directly into second-rank level. Feeling the immense power that had arisen within him, Song Kai felt no excitement. If the enhancement could only be applied to himself, then it would actually be bad news for him. As a torch ship captain, he couldn't abandon his torch warship to engage in close combat with enemy units. No matter how strong he was personally, its utility was limited. However, just at that moment, his eyes suddenly sharpened. Just now, the seed of torch within his ancestral aperture at his glabella had begun to tremble violently. Immediately after, a wisp of blue origin torch burst forth from the ancestral aperture. This blue origin torch seemed to turn into a special catalyst, and with its emergence, the silver-white radiance that had been surrounding him started to slowly flow towards the Kangchong below. Several seconds later, as Song Kai cautiously opened the attribute panel of the Kangchong, he quickly saw the new attribute he most wanted to see. Law Enhancement. Blessed by the power of an unknown law, warship attributes are fully enhanced, with a duration of 1 hour. Indeed, the Kangchong can also be blessed by the law of the Ruins Market. Feeling a surge of excitement, Song Kai silently uttered to himself. However, he soon sighed slightly. As the Ruins Market master, he had the most direct experience of the law enhancement of the Ruins Market walking rank. Although he could not make the laws of the Zutian Ruins Market bless him in the outside world, he had felt their blessing countless times within the market itself, so he knew very well that the law-enhancing effect of the Ruins Market walking rank was only a very small part of the laws of the Zutian Ruins Market. Before, he had, with the blessing of the market's laws, taken on the energy attack from an unknown fourth-rank existence. Yet, the law enhancement of this Ruins Market walking rank could only allow the holder's combat power to cross one great rank. Compared to the real Ruins Market laws, it was still a far cry. But for those ordinary alien species, this enhancement was enough to make them eager to obtain it. In the Shattered Starry Sea, a rank makes a huge difference, and this was no empty talk. Although this was not applicable to torch human civilization, among those ordinary alien races, a difference of 1 rank was like a chasm between heaven and earth, an insurmountable gulf. Being able to fight across a great rank was something they would not even dare to dream of in the past. Therefore, the popularity of this Ruins Market walking rank would inevitably exceed expectations in the future. Shaking his head, he dispelled these thoughts from his mind, and the Kangchong slowly headed out into space. He wanted to feel in detail the actual combat power of the Kangchong under the law's enhancement. More than an hour later, Song Kai returned. He had thoroughly tested the Kangchong after the law's enhancement and had arrived at specific test results. Accurately speaking, after being blessed by the law, the combat power of Kangchong did not truly cross a great rank. For components such as the Dark Matter Energy Shield Generator, Pure Yang Sword Beam Cannon, Shadow Capture Antimatter Overstate Engine, and others on board, which were already at 3rd rank, the effect of the law enhancement was not as good as imagined. However, overall, the combat power of the Kangchong was significantly increased after the law enhancement. As for the specific range of the increase, it cannot be detailed. However, based on the previous battle with the humanoid alien race at the 3rd rank peak and the sandworms of the yellow sand floating continent at the 3rd rank peak, as long as a sufficient distance is maintained, the combat power of the Kangchong before advancing to 2nd rank should be barely able to reach the 3rd rank peak. After being promoted to an escort ship, this combat power has officially reached the true third-rank peak, and even in close combat with third-rank peak creatures, the Obsidian ship armor, strengthened by second rank, should be able to withstand attacks of third-rank peak level. As for after this law enhancement, Song Kai estimated that the Kang Chong facing 3 enemies alone should not be a big problem. Underneath the peach tree in the private courtyard of Green Moon Manor, Song Kai sat cross-legged. In the depths of his mind, within the pitch-black starry sky, the 10,000-meter-tall mecha armor projection stood towering. Song Kai concentrated fully on visualizing the mech armor projection imprint chart. Time passed, and eventually, he slowly opened his tightly closed eyes, a flash of realization in his gaze. Afterwards, Song Kai stopped his visualization directly. 2 days. My spiritual force has not increased for 2 days. It seems my previous guess was correct. I have reached the peak of the ordinary thought state's first stage. If I cannot break through to the second stage of the ordinary thought state, it will be very difficult for my spiritual force to continue improving. 4 days had passed since he returned from testing the Kang Chong. During these 4 days, while he was making detailed preparations for the trip to the Soul Spirit floating land, he also continued to cultivate the guidance technique and visualize the mythical mech projection imprint blueprint. However, starting 2 days ago, his spiritual force seemed to have entered a stagnation, with no sign of further improvement. After consulting his parents and searching extensively on the quantum communication bracelet, the conclusion was that his spiritual force had reached the peak of the first stage of ordinary thought state. For this, Song Chao and Chen Lixia were both extremely surprised. Because in their impression, the enhancement of spiritual force was incredibly difficult, even with the Song family's secret method, the Dragon Spine Tyrant Whale mythical mecha contemplation diagram. It was hard to say whether the spiritual force could keep pace with the advancement of the guidance technique. Usually, it was only through the life sublimation that accompanied a major leap in the guidance technique that one could barely maintain progress. Song Chi's current guidance technique was only at LV16. Under normal circumstances, his spiritual force should at most be around the middle phase of the first rank of the ordinary thought state, and considering his guidance technique skyrocketed 5 levels in the recent months, it would be most reasonable for him to be at the early phase of the first rank. Reaching the peak of the first rank now was indeed a bit abnormal. As for this, Song Kai himself didn't know the exact reason and could only use the excuse of his persistent visualization efforts to gloss over it. Standing up from the lotus position, Song Kai decided not to continue with visualization attempts. Having confirmed that his spiritual force had indeed reached the peak of the first rank in the ordinary thought state, continuing visualization without breaking through to the second rank would simply be a waste of time. Thinking of the words, second rank of the ordinary thought state, Song Chi's gaze flickered uncertainly. Previously, from what his father and others had said, to break through to this second rank, the most common way was to wait for the subsequent advancement of the guidance technique to LV20 and use that second life sublimation for the breakthrough, the simplest and most universal method. But under the expanse of the Torch human civilization's territory, with countless Torch ship captains, among such numbers, there would always be some extraordinary talents who didn't need to rely on the second life sublimation to advance their spiritual force to the second rank. Not to mention others, just within the Dingai Song family, there are not a few examples of this kind over the past 3,000 years. Such clan members who break through to the second rank of the ordinary thought state ahead of time can achieve 4-fold mind utilization, and then with the help of the second life sublimation, they can reach 5-fold mind utilization, always one step ahead of the average Torch ship captain. Some can even achieve 6-fold mind utilization at the second rank level and reach the third rank of the ordinary thought state. Captains of this level in the Torch human civilization are often crowned with the title of genius. It is said that the contemporary fifth in line of the Song family, Song Ming, was able to reach this level during his second rank. It was after hearing this news that Song Kai conceived a different idea. As the owner of the Zutian Ruins Market, though he was much more stable than the ordinary Torch ship captains, this never meant he was inferior to others. Stable he may be, talented he may appear, but from beginning to end, he never once felt he was weaker than others. Even though he had lived through 2 lifetimes, Song Chi's psychological age was barely over 60, which in the interstellar Great Era, still placed him among the younger generation, and the passion within his heart had not completely cooled down yet. If others could do it, why on earth couldn't he? With this thought, Song Kai inquired in detail with his father and mother, and the answer he got was simple. Divine soul resources. To break through to the second rank of the ordinary thought state before the second life sublimation was not an easy task, otherwise it wouldn't be so rare, but there still was a way. With the aid of sufficient divine soul resources, one could achieve this goal. Of course, the amount of divine soul resources required was vast, and it was not a matter of just any divine soul resources enabling the breakthrough of a torch ship captain's spiritual force. With that thought in mind, Song Chi's gaze became firm once more. The expedition mission to the Soul Spirit floating land was an excellent opportunity to plunder divine soul resources. This time, he wished to make a grand move. Divine soul resources were hard to find, and if he missed this opportunity, acquiring them later would be quite troublesome. Little Kai. Suddenly, his mother's voice came from outside the courtyard. Grandfather had returned and was calling all family members to discuss the particulars of the upcoming Soul Spirit floating land expedition mission. Song Mingsong and Bai Shuken's courtyard was located right in the middle of Green Moon Manor. Not long ago, they had summoned all family members, but now there was no one to be seen in the courtyard. Directly below the courtyard, in an underground secret chamber, the entire 10th Direct Vein family was gathered. This secret chamber, dozens of meters beneath the surface, had been excavated by a third-rank peak soldier figurine under the grandfather's command. The surrounding stone walls were specifically lined with a rare material known as spirit sealing stone, which was excellent for soundproofing, making it the venue for discussing various important matters within the family. In the crowd, Song Kai looked aside. There was another stone door there, leading to a sealed chamber that wasn't for discussions, but the place where the entrance to the Dragon Blood Mystic Realm was located. According to the grandfather and the eldest uncle, over the past few months, only 10 dragon blood trees remained in the Mystic Realm, 3 of which bore dragon blood fruits that had officially reached 1,000 years in age. These 15 millennium dragon blood fruits, each with the effect of prolonging life by 10 years, had already been plucked, and the sale information was listed on the Quantum Communication Bracelet's Ring Dragon Spine Continent Family Forum. As for why they were not submitted directly to the family, the grandfather's reason was simple. The family would only offer 2 golden merit points per fruit, but if they could find a clansman in need on the forum, the price might reach 3 to 4 golden merit points, or even exchange for a purple component if they encountered someone urgently in need. All right, that's settled then. Shuken, second brother, Little Kai, and Little Yu, it will just be the 5 of us. We'll set off in 5 days. After a round of discussion, Song Mingsong made the final decision. He would lead the group, including his grandmother Bai Shuken, second uncle Song Hai, along with Song Kai and Song Yu. A total of 5 people, to take the family's transport warship departing in 5 days to the Soul Spirit floating land. Upon hearing this final decision, the eldest uncle Song Shan nodded slightly. That's acceptable. Without you there, Dad, it wouldn't be advisable to start the promotion mission for Mom either. It's better to go to the Soul Spirit floating land together. We can't miss this opportunity to acquire divine soul-type resources. At these words, Song Hai nodded in agreement, but soon sighed softly. It's a pity that you, the eldest, can't leave for now. Otherwise, with 2 third-rank torch captains together, it would be not only safer but we would also have greater gains. The others could only express their helplessness. Song Shan needed to contain the eruption of the Origin Eruption Eye. Several months had passed, and less than 9 months remained until the end of the profitable year. The yield from a third-rank Origin Eruption Eye for an entire year was not insignificant, so naturally, they couldn't give up halfway through. With the final list of participants for the expedition to the Soul Spirit floating land set, everyone soon left. Once only his parents, grandfather, and eldest uncle remained, Song Kai quietly inquired. "Grandfather, do you need any third-rank floating land origin?" As he spoke, without waiting for the others to be puzzled, he took the lead in recounting the excuse he had prepared in advance. He described the spirit mechanism synthesis platform in the ruins market as something every creature entering the market could use to synthesize once. However, the exchange rate he gave for third-rank floating land origin with second-rank floating land origin was 16-1, or 1,600 strands of second-rank floating land origin for 100 strands of third-rank floating land origin. Although this was not as favorable as the 20-1 offered at the Merit Tower, it would still allow him to earn 600 strands in one go without attracting unwanted attention. Third-rank floating land origin was, after all, a rare find, and occasionally trading 100 strands was fine, but doing so every month would easily draw attention. Moreover, this would also let his grandparents benefit from the deal, a situation with threefold gains. Hearing his words, Song Mingsong didn't hesitate and immediately brought out 1,600 strands of second-rank floating land origin. After receiving the 1,600 strands of second-rank floating land origin from them, Song Kai also took out 100 strands of third-rank floating land origin from the ancestral torch and handed them to his grandfather, Song Mingsong. Having previously brought out even fourth-rank floating land origin, the presence of these 100 strands of third rank didn't seem out of place. On the contrary, the market was seen by the elders as a place they could only go once a month, so pretending to go there temporarily for synthesis would instead reveal the truth. It wasn't until he was back in his own courtyard that he entered the ruins market and took out 1,000 strands from the 1,600 strands of second-rank floating land origin to re-synthesize 100 strands of third-rank floating land origin. Thus, he made a clean profit of 600 strands with ease. Time passed quickly, and 5 days went by in the blink of an eye. In the vault of the sky above Green Moon Island, 5 torch warships hovered high up, with people like Song Shan, Zhao Hongshui, and Song Chao watching from below. The 5 warships quickly ascended, and once they pierced through the clouds, they all commenced their jump charge simultaneously. At the rear position of the 5 torch warships, in a private communication channel, were Song Kai and Song Yu. "Fourth brother, when did your flagship get upgraded to second rank?" The Kang Chong had been upgraded not long ago, and only a few elders in the family were aware of it. Song Yu, who had been focused on cultivation, had no idea until now. "It's not that scary, it just got promoted the other day." His nonchalant tone only made Song Yu more speechless. "What do you mean it just got promoted the other day? Do you realize when you awoke? It's only been a little over a year, right?" Mentally grumbling, Song Yu then considered his own flagship. Although there was not much difference in awakening time between himself and Song Kai, his flagship was still a long way from reaching second rank. Even with the assistance of Song Shan and Zhao Hongshui, it would take at least 2 more years before it had a chance of achieving the rank of escort ship. 2 years, in the interstellar Great Era, was indeed not a long time. It could even be considered quite brief. However, in the early stages of development for a torch warship, this period could create a significant gap. Seeing Song Yu's mood drop, Song Kai naturally knew what his younger brother was thinking and quickly started to offer words of comfort. At the foot of Dragon Spine's sacred mountain, in the family assembly square. Compared to the emptiness when they had just returned, the square now had completely transformed. Countless supplies were piled up around the square, including but not limited to food, clean water, medicine, warship enhancement resources, standard energy batteries, and Dingai 2-type exoskeleton-powered armor, among others. It could be said that the White Jade Square, which exceeded 100,000 meters in both length and width, had now become a large-scale materials storage site. Warships of standard Starry Sea designs were either rising or descending, constantly hovering above the square, continuously transporting more resources to ensure the expedition to Soul Spirit Floating Land would never lack logistical supplies. Witnessing the busyness of these standard Starry Sea warships, An explanation came through the communication projection group from the Torch warships, voiced by Uncle Song Hai. Those are the ordinary clan members who have not awakened yet. They are responsible for some logistical transportation tasks, earning starting resources for their descendants. Hearing this, Song Kai felt very emotional. In his previous life as an ordinary person, he could all too well imagine the helplessness and pain of being unable to join in the magnificent great era of the Starry Seas. During the conversation, the 5 Torch warships descended one after another, landing in a designated warship docking area at the edge of the square. As Kang Chong landed, Song Kai quickly heard a reminder from the clan member responsible for managing this docking area, urging him to promptly load the warship with supplies. This reminder wasn't just for him. All Torch ship captains who landed here would hear the same message. And Song Kai understood the reason. It was to help all family members heading to Soul Spirit Floating Land for their missions, to also transport some supplies there, reducing the workload of the family's logistical teams. The Soul Spirit Floating Land had been discovered during exploration in the alien star domain, located who knows how far from Torch human civilization territory. It could only be reached back and forth by using component-type space beacons. This also meant that the Torch warships capable of traveling between the 2 star domains were not numerous since the component-type space beacons were quite rare. Thus, to fully utilize every inch of space on those special Torch warships commuting between the 2 star domains, those participating in missions were also required to load up a portion of the supplies that needed immediate transportation. As the traction beam of Kang Chong worked steadily, Song Kai quickly finished loading enough materials, and together with his grandparents, waited peacefully for the departure time of the specific transport warships. As time passed, they had yet to see any movement from the several transport warships. However, a group of clan members who were familiar with his grandparents arrived first. This group numbered over 20, and as Song Kai had paid special attention to them when they landed, he was well aware that among them were more than 10 second-rank Torch ship captains, 2 third-rank Torch ship captains, and just 4 first-rank captains, an impressive assembly. While Grandpa greeted the male leader of the group, Song Kai stepped over to Grandma's side and quietly inquired, soon getting a good understanding of their identities. According to Grandma Bai Shuken, these people were from the 7th direct vein, which had been established for over 200 years. There were already 4 third-rank Torch ship captains openly known among them. Such strength might not rank highly among the other Song family veins, but it was still much stronger than their 10th vein. The 7th direct vein, His thoughts lingering, Grandpa brought over the group from the 7th direct vein. Little Kai, little you, come over and greet your distant grandfather Song Yuan. The leader of the 7th direct vein this time was named Song Yuan. He was nearly 20 years older than Song Mingsong and was serving as deputy vein master in the 7th vein. His strength was considered quite formidable among the 3rd-rank Torch ship captains. Grandfather Yuan. After a round of greetings, they soon received news that the transport warship behind them was about to depart, and the group of nearly 30 people stepped aboard one of the transport warships in sequence. As soon as they entered the warship, everyone's spectral energy suddenly stalled, clearly restricted by the Torch warship boarding certificate, temporarily unable to use spectral energy anymore. To this, the many Torch ship captains, who were already aware, showed no surprise. The transport warship underfoot was a 2nd-rank Torch warship. Had the Torch warship boarding certificate component not been used, then as soon as these dozens of people boarded, they would have had to deduct hundreds of threads of 2nd-rank floating land origin, and it would have to be deducted several times more later on, which was too expensive. It's not that the Song family lacked this bit of 2nd-rank floating land origin, it was just unnecessary. After all, not only them but several transport warships would be commuting between the 2 star domains every day. If they operated like that every day, the cost would still be significant. Using the Torch warship boarding certificate, though, albeit with the body's spectral energy subsequently sealed for 24 hours, there was already a temporary outer space combat platform assembled on the other side in the Soul Spirit Floating Land star domain. All the family members there could safely wait out these 24 hours within the combat platform until their bodies recovered without worrying about any danger. Regarding the issues of lingering time, since they were traveling to the Soul Spirit floating Landstar domain aboard a transport warship, their own flagships would not be bound by a return time limit and could stay indefinitely on the other side. If they wished to return later on, they would simply repeat today's procedure and take a transport warship back from the Soul Spirit floating Landstar domain. Lost in thought, the hatch of the transport chamber slowly closed. The warship's engines started, and amidst the roaring sounds, it rapidly ascended into the sky above the square. High in the vault of heaven, the transport warship beneath everyone's feet began to tremble slightly, the alien star domain launch already activated. Looking out through the warship's window, Song Kai observed that two other torch warships were closely flanking their transport warship. Wrapped tightly by tethering beams of light, they too had activated the alien star domain launch. If everything went according to plan, these two torch warships would also serve as transport warships on a future journey. Once their transport warship reached the Soul Spirit floating Landstar domain, they would rapidly mark it with a space beacon. After a 24-hour return and a 1-month period for the warship's deployment feature to recover, they would become the designated transport warships for the corresponding group. Only in this way could a perfect shuttle cycle be formed between the two star domains. P.S. This chapter is a bit lacking in content, and the word count doesn't meet the usual standard, but I'm struggling to stay awake. My eyelids are battling it out, and I simply can't hold on. Time to break into pieces. Good night.